about a year ago. I come from Bojangles across the street, and truck jumped the sidewalk, smacked me in the back of the head, gave me staples in the back of my head.
Jeez.
And after coming out of the hospital, I couldn't really move, I couldn't function or nothing. So I was pretty much stuck here, and I haven't really left the scenery in about a year. And they arrested me for it, right?
Wow.
And the same arrested officers were the ones that was supposed to be defending me in my hit and run. So I'm like, okay, the worth of a life is less than the worth of an AC unit, because you could spend more time trying to find out who took the AC unit rather than who hit me with the truck and left me for dead in the street. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, we're here in Charlotte, North Carolina again, and I'm here with
Damond. They call me D.
D? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So it's Damond?
Damond. D-A-M-O-N-D. Damond.
Damond. Okay.
Yes.
So, like the young lady that I just interviewed, you're part of the, she said it was 39 people that were kicked out of the Econo Lodge across the street.
Yeah.
You're part of that whole group. How long were you living there?
Going on 2 months.
2 months?
2 to 3 months, yeah.
And they just kicked y'all out without any warning? And
yeah, it shut down due to, I don't know, the chemicals, asbestos or something. They shut it down, like, you know, and the people just left out and left people here. So we basically fended for ourselves and got a little system going on, a little community network, try to clean up as best we could, and we had community help as well.
Yeah.
Then, for whatever reason, the owners sold it, and I guess the new owners hired a group of cleanup guys, and they just pretty much cleaned up and kicked us out. You know, that homeless squat thing, and that I don't know if that applies here in Charlotte.
Yeah.
They had the police come out, you know what I'm saying? They was enforced. They was polite. It wasn't like rude or anything, but it was just like you either go or get locked up. So I'm like,
oh wow,
my situation's already bad. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get any worse than that. So
yeah. Did you have any family there with you, or
was it was just me.
Yeah. All right. So, all right. How long have you been homeless, basically?
Going on a year. I was about 5 or 6 blocks from here. About a year ago. I come from Bojangles across the street, and truck jumped the sidewalk, smacked me in the back of the head, gave me staples in the back of my head.
Jeez.
And after coming out of the hospital, I couldn't really move, I couldn't function or nothing. So I was pretty much stuck here, and I haven't really left the scenery in about a year.
Yeah. Wow.
Hit and run.
I'm sorry to hear that. You're the second one I've talked to that's been hit by a truck. So.
Right.
And man, I'm sorry to hear that.
It's crazy because I do scrap metal for a living. That's one of the jobs that God was able to bless me with.
Yeah.
You know, because it doesn't require any kind of certifications or anything. You know, just kind of know your way around demolition.
Yeah.
And man, I was doing a building that was abandoned. Really, they were scrapping it. And for whatever reason, the owners didn't like it because I had no mask on or nothing. I was just doing it. And I had damaged up one of the AC units, breaking it down. And they arrested me for it, right?
Wow.
And the same arrested officers were the ones that was supposed to be defending me in my hit and run. So I'm like, okay, the worth of a life is less than the worth of an AC unit, because you could spend more time trying to find out who took the AC unit rather than who hit me with the truck and left me for dead in the street. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of threw me for a loop real quick. So, but I'm still here.
Man, that is crazy.
Yeah, it really is.
Okay, one of the things I want to get out of most of the interviews I do is I want to see the steps leading up to how you got in your situation, becoming homeless. So we'll start your childhood. How was your childhood? Did you have both parents in the house?
Yeah, I had a very good childhood. It'd be stupid to say too good. I had both parents. I was the youngest of my siblings, and I was pretty much raised as the only child, spoiled rotten. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
but to each his own. You know, it might take 20 people to help mature this young lady, and it might take like 3 people to mature this young man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody's a different individual.
That's true.
And I think my spoiledness, you know, it blessed me, and at the same time it hindered me. You know what I'm saying? Becoming complacent, just not as gun ho. Not the wolf climbing the hill is always hungrier than the one on top. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like
you needed some extra motivation.
Right, and gave myself extra motivation too.
Yeah. Okay, so did you graduate high school?
No, I got a GED.
Okay, that's good too.
And like I did almost everything in high school. I was like a couple of credits away from graduating, and it just didn't go.
Yeah. Okay. So, how did you become homeless? Like,
prior to that incident with the Staples, I was staying in Sherrall, South Carolina, with a female, and house burned down right before Christmas.
Jeez.
Yeah. So she was doing the Section 8 thing, so you know Red Cross could take care of her. You know, we didn't have insurance on the house. I didn't know none of this, you know, and lost everything like right before Christmas. And so I was forced to move back to Charlotte. I believe in being as self-sufficient as possible. You know, I do have family here, you know, a little bit. It's as a man, it's hard to
ask for help.
Yeah, to the degree of homelessness situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I can do it out. I can tough it out. At least that's what I think. You know, and I have so far. You know, God is good all the time, in spite of us. And out of this situation, you know, I can't really consider it all bad because there's something I can learn from it. You know, if there's a young man or a young woman that's like, you know, I'm gonna commit suicide, you know, it's over for me, my life is over, they can look at my life and be like, hold up, if God did this for him, brought him out this situation, and look at him, I wasn't as bad as him. You know, he can do it for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I look at it as inspiration.
That's true.
You know?
I understand. I hate asking people for help.
Right.
I try to get everything done myself if I have the power to do so.
Right.
And yeah, like you were saying, there's always somebody in a situation worse than yours.
Absolutely.
Like some of the people that I've spoken to, it's crazy.
Right.
Some of the people, yeah, it's crazy what people go through.
Yes.
So, yeah, do you remember your first days being homeless?
Yeah, my first days of being homeless was like kind of like bewilderment, just like lost, you know, finding myself at a bus stop at like 3 o'clock in the morning, like what the hell, like, you know. But survival instincts kick in. It's like, okay, you gotta get shelter, you're hungry, you know what I'm saying? So, but one thing I have to admit, it's a process. Being homeless is a process. And get from being homeless is a process. You know, it's a daily process. You know, you can work towards not being homeless, or you can work towards staying homeless. You know what I'm saying? It just depends on what your motivation is. It's like self-employment, pretty much. You know, you can network all you want, you know, but if you're not willing to put in the footwork to do things, then that's what it's going to be. I had a lot of different ailments. Like, it was crazy. Like, I just had hernia surgery. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yeah, I used to work out, and 45 plates. I used to have it across my chest and do incline sit-ups.
Yeah.
Tore up my stomach, you know? So I was like, man, I had to stop my job and scrap y'all doing that. I was like, man, you know, there's so many things, you know. Well, God built me for it tough, you know what I'm saying? And
I hear you.
You can't have a testimony, you know, without something to testify about.
Yeah. So, all right, so I know that the incident with the police, did you have to go to jail for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, because they actually gave me a warrant for it, you know, because like I said, they had cameras up, and they were scrapping it, people were scrapping it. So I was like, okay, it's free fall. So at the end of the whole situation, you know, the owners, they looked at that, you know, they was like, man, everybody's scrapping this thing, and we just got this one homeless black guy. We gonna pin him for everything. Like you can't do it like that, you know. And God is good. So they voluntarily dismissed it. You know what I'm saying? So you know, lesson learned. Do a little bit more research before indulging in business adventures like that. You know, because everything is a paper trail on everything. Cars, buildings, things like that. 'Cause people scrap cars too. You know, there's a lot of money to be made in it. It's just you have to be able to distinguish and decipher between a good deal, you know, even in the blind, or, you know, this is just too far-fetched for me to even put my face. Oh, here's a Lamborghini over there, look, nobody owns it. Yeah, right, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's crazy. Huh. All right, so, okay. How long did you do in jail?
About a month and a half.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah.
How was that experience?
Whew. Well, half of it I spent sleeping.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I just it wasn't a good feel for me. You know, it's one thing, you know, to be in a situation that you don't like homelessness. You know, it's like a mental incarceration. You know, drug addiction is another mental incarceration. You know, but to be physically incarcerated on top of that is like. You wake up in these four walls, like you really can't get under and scream until your head blow up.
Yeah. That's true. Huh.
You got people telling you what time to eat, what time to go to bed. It's like, you know, I paid very little attention to it, you know, so I can stay focused on other things. But it's not a cool thing.
You get people trying to mess with you, like the other end?
Not really. Like I heard about stuff like that. That's like old school jail. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like you break your fingernail. It's like 20 cops come running.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So this is the last question that I usually ask everybody that I interview. A year from now, in your perfect situation, your ideal situation, where would you be? What would you be doing? Like the job, the place you're living at. What would that look like? The people you're with.
I would like to be owner or part owner of an outreach ministry, helping the homeless. And they have a few here, you know, but they don't really home in on specifics and details, you know. For one, it's like, you know, you get to certain places, they're like, you know, you got to work immediately, you know, you got to pay these bills. And coming off the streets, you don't know what the person's ailments might be. You know what I'm saying? They was out there hustling and bustling, and coming into a sheltered place hustling and bustling is pretty much the same thing. You know, and that's the reason why it's recidivism. They in and out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I would focus on mental first. You know, you gotta have a sound mind. You try to get you straight with that. Spiritual second. You know, because there's nothing you can do without God. You know, and then third, you know, like how are you physically? Are you able to get around and what are your needs? You know what I'm saying? Because I can't tell, or I don't know what this person is going to be somewhere down the road. You know, this person could be very well the person that saved my child's life. You know what I'm saying? Or the next doctor. You know what I'm saying? And by not helping to prosper that life force, you know, might be a hindrance to so many more. You know what I mean? That's how I look at it anyway. I would like to be a help in that.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, well, appreciate the interview. And I gotta get to my car to get you your donation. If you're hungry, McDonald's is right across the street.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
And Jennifer, I think she's still there, so I'll get her something too. So, all right, appreciate the interview.
No problem. Thank you, sir.